Oh man, all right. You know what? I was listening to that last video, and it's like I can hear like some of the experts out there like criticizing me because I'm an expert, because I'm a philosopher, right? Anyways, no, I can hear them out there just, and like I hear you, like don't misquote me or misthink me. So like in modern terms, we would talk about balance of power, right? Now Anatolia had its own balance of power, right? It did. And so like I made this map right here, and I left a lot of blank spaces within Anatolia, and that's because there's a lot of different people groups, like at least 3, probably more maybe, within this map. Not only that, like the people over here were being rizzed up by the Greeks, and the people here were trying to conquer Anatolia, I think, but or rizzing or both. And so if the Hittites had went in to conquer the Kakashis, then that would have upset the balance of power, right? It totally would have upset the balance of power within Anatolia, and that would have caused a lot of problems. But like, again, to me, like if you're gonna go tromping around in Mesopotamia, if you're gonna go try to wrestle with the Egyptians, you better fucking upset that balance of power. Like you got to. You gotta fucking upset that balance of power. Because like 3 clicks, like Hattusha, like if you look at this map, like Hattusha's like right there, and the Kakashi are like right there. Just like 3 fucking clicks. I don't even know what 3. I think it's probably 3 clicks away from Hattusha. But I understand. I understand. It wouldn't have been as simple as like is that, because the conquest itself would have been a grudging, just fucking. It would have been difficult, and the Kakashis would have made it extremely difficult. And only dedication of probably decades could have had success. But and that's just of the war between the Hittites and the Kakashi. Not to mention all the other people who are going to try to upset the conquest. So like I understand it's not as simple as that. But still, like if you're going to go swinging your dick around in Mesopotamia, like you better have solid ground to do it. Like they imbalance themselves. Like uh, no wonder they're no longer with us today. No wonder this civilization is, and they are, because we don't really understand history as we should, because we understand it in these stupid nationalistic terms. Ew. But after the fall of the Hittites, there's going to be a lot of Hittite men who has survived. They'll just assimilate into another tribe. There's going to be a lot of Hittite women who survived, and they're going to assimilate into another tribe. So the Hittites are still with us today. Like all you guys are being fooled on these DNA analysis, from what I heard. And again, anytime I research medical knowledge, it's like I have one doctor, he comes along and he's like, this is what is, and then he'll quote all these whatevers. But then you'll have another doctor who comes along and says the opposite, and then he'll quote all the other scientific whatevers, right? And it's just like this is one plus one is 2, and yeah. Anyways, but see, this is what I heard. Like DNA analysis can only tell your father's 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 father, or your mother's 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 mother. Everything else is a mystery. So they're lying to you just to steal your money and make you, oh wow, like I'm fucking 20% Jewish. Like, that's awesome. Like, that would be awesome. I love the Jews. Respect. But, like, they're, like, fooling you. Like, they totally are. From what I hear. Because DNA analysis can only 100% tell father, 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 and mother, mother, mother. But the Hittite men and the Hittite women are still gonna be there. You know, that's not how history works in these stupid nationalist terms, these Sid Meier terms, right? And I love Sid Meier civilization. Go out there and buy that shit and support. But like, historically speaking, that's not how tribes work. But in a way it is, because these Hittites are no longer with us. And it's like they imbalanced themselves. It's like after they fell, there were some Hittite states in Mesopotamia. Like they threw their whole weight into Mesopotamia. Like it just didn't make sense. Like throw your whole weight into fucking Anatolia. But like none of the like listen, like all these people are blank because none of them are really worth mentioning, except for like I saw this one story about this one guy. He lived around here, and like he was supposedly the inspiration for maybe Achilles, but he also sounded like Enoch. Like he had that Enoch philosophy. But like there may have been a man right here who inspired the Bronze Age collapse, right? That's what I think. Anyways, I want to learn more about that guy, but like as a culture, totally not worth mentioning. Like this is the delusion of the conquered, right? The delusion of the conquered is that the Greeks were raising these guys up to revolt against the Hittites. But the Greeks actually wanted to conquer this territory. So that's how that works. So there's all these people out there who think they're going to conquer another tribe. But they're actually the ones going to be conquered. But anyways, I'll shut up. So yeah, no, I mean, it's like I understand. And it's a minority. Like even if this video went viral, there'd still be just like a minority of people out there who know the fuck I'm talking about. But like that first video, after that first video, the people who do know what the fuck I'm talking about, they're like, no, like there's a balance of power, and like I know that shit. But that balance, like what I'm telling you guys is that balance of power should have been upset. It totally should have been upset. If they wanted to go swinging their dicks around against the Mesopotamians. But they imbalanced themselves, and boom, no mas. But let's talk about Al-Mansur, because that's like another example for that video that I was talking about. Because you have this idea that cityfied, like the city is a modern sociological revolution within mankind, right? And like I'm not the type of person to say that before the citified life that mankind was in an idyllic state. Like that's cheesy. They probably had their own problems in different ways, just like these Kakashis. Like these clan kinsmen groups can be really toxic. So, ugh. So it's like mankind just goes from one form of toxicity to another. Damn. Like God fucked up. He did. Like I've been thinking about game design lately, and it's like I don't know. I think he's like maybe average game designer, maybe. Because I don't know, I think this world is more dull. I don't know. But Um, I don't know. Anyways, let's go on to so Al-Mansur. It's like even some of the modern historical analysis that I've come across would say that these Muslims of Al-Andalus were becoming unmartial and that this grand, because like people talk about the grand civilization of Al-Andalus. Oh, it's the grand civilization of Al-Andalus. Well, Al-Mansur and I think like history would agree that this grand civilization was weakness disguised as strength, which again goes into this modern or not modern classical moral analysis of city life effeminizing man, right? And so like here's what's funny to me, right? And it's not funny, it's tragic. It is like when we're talking about the death of lots of people, that's a tragic thing. But it's at the end of the Ice Age, and if you look at where most of the people have lived in our time and throughout history, it's along the coastline. So like there's cities being found out in the water, right? So after the end, 12,000 years ago, after the end of the Ice Age, boom, like the Ice Age was a great time. It was for certain places. Other places not, but for certain places it was great. And but all these coastal towns got flooded. They just got flooded. And so, like I think if we look at the end of the Roman times, we would obviously say that there was a technological de-evolution of mankind, right? The Romans used to build all these technologically awesome things, but then like 1,000 years later, these stupid Europeans are just trying to figure this shit out, right? So there was this technological de-evolution that happened. So that's a historical thing that's happened. So obviously, at the end of this ice age, there's going to be a huge technological de-evolution. But here's the historical funny. No, here's the historical funny. The historical funny is this, like if you look at civilization, right? No, you look at linguistics. So let's look at linguistics. You have what happens in linguistics is that a tribe becomes larger and larger, and as it becomes larger, it becomes regionalized, and these regions start to speak different accents, and then they start to speak different dialogues, and then they eventually start to speak different languages. Right? This is the reality of human history, not the Sid Meier's. You start as one tribe and end as another. No, that's not history. Um, Transformation is the constant. Um, what am I talking about right now? I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about transformation of tribes. The transformation tribes. You know what? I think I'll post another video. I'm gonna go listen to this and try to find it.